Thank you, Chairwoman Waters, for holding this markup and considering H.R. 3111, the Grandfamily Housing Act legislation, which I am proud to lead in partnership with my dear friend and colleague, Representative Jim McGovern. This bill is informed by the lived experiences of grand families across the Commonwealth and our nation. Today, nearly 3 million children are being raised by their grandparents, and a recent study found the number of Americans living in a multi-generational household has quadrupled over the last decade alone. The data shows that this number will continue to grow, in large part due to the opioid epidemic, which continues to destabilize families and decimate our communities. For children whose parents are unable to care for them, grandparents are often the ones stepping in to take on caregiving responsibilities, helping to mend hearts, to heal trauma, all while navigating the demands of schoolwork and rising living costs on a fixed budget. Adding to these challenges, less than 1/3 of eligible grand families receive housing assistance, and the majority of subsidized and market-rate senior residents do not permit children in their buildings. All these factors contribute to a devastating statistic. Almost half of every low-income renter grandparent-headed household spends more than 50% of their income on rent. This is unsustainable. This is unjust. And this is what our bill aims to fix. The Grandfamily Housing Act would provide funding to nonprofits and local housing authorities working to provide a safe living space for grand families and support the infrastructure of necessary wraparound services multi-generational families need to survive and to thrive. Our bill has the support of key advocates and trusted voices who work directly in support of grand families, including Generations United, Leading Age, the National Council on Aging, and the Massachusetts Commission on Grandparents Raising Grandchildren. I would also like to thank the many colleagues on this committee, Representatives Adams, Garcia, Chewy, and Sylvia, Scott, and Torres, who have already supported this important bill. For too long, our nation has failed to recognize the contributions of grandparents raising grandchildren and to provide them with the resources and support they need. It's time to change that. With these multiple crises destabilizing our families, from the opioid pandemic to the ongoing public health crisis of COVID-19, it is especially critical that we support the grandparents who are assuming caregiving responsibilities in these unprecedented times. I urge the remainder of my colleagues to support this bill, and I yield the balance of my time.